Hey everybody, welcome to the new Flaming River podcast. My name's Tyler Green. I'm the electrical engineer over here at Flaming River. I have a background in engineering, but I don't really have a background in anything related to cars or the internals or necessarily how they work. I'm learning, and to help me learn more, I have guests on this show to teach me what we have going on in the shop. And today our guest is Steve. Hey Steve, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Steve Vavrick, and with Flaming River, I am the internet marketing specialist. So I do a lot of the marketing for us online, and I'll also be heading up the YouTube channel as well as doing some of the print ads that you see in the popular magazines for street rods, hot rods, muscle cars, etc.
But you're a car guy.
Yeah, so before coming here, I spent about 20 years in a couple of dealerships as a service manager and just kind of running fixed operations. So I've been around cars and technicians my entire life. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have on the docket for today?
So what we have today is we have a unique, new, innovative way to basically handle some of the steering in your vehicle. So when you get into a lot of custom builds, you have some clearance issues, you have some angle issues when you get into replacing the column, and you have your shafts and universal joints coming through the firewall down to the rack. Sometimes things get in the way. So
Right.
A good example is if you install a different, aftermarket set of headers on your engine for your exhaust. Some of those, they're tubular versus a cast log style manifold. So what'll happen is sometimes you get clearance issues with the steering shaft where it can't make it down to the rack without making contact.
Right.
So you need a way around that. Or if you get into older, T-buckets or any lifted vehicles or any real custom application, you have issues with angles at times. So we have what we call our VDOG, which is a variable angle steering gear.
Now, what's the difference between these two right out of the gate?
Well, right out of the gate, you can see the size and the finish is different, but we'll get to that in just a second. I want to go over what it is and what it does and how it does it first.
Sure.
So basically, this is a 90-degree gear, and it has a fixed shaft on one side, and it can be mounted any way you want. You can mount it this way, you can mount it that way. The neat part about this product is, and there are other products kind of like it,
Right.
but they don't have this. This is what makes this unique. This articulating ball right here allows you to, it's basically a two-way joint that'll move up, down, left, right, and rotate. So what'll happen is you've got 35 degrees angle here and here. So you got about 70 degrees of working angle so that when you mount this,
Right.
you can basically turn this any way you need to get that shaft to the rack.
And you have like 360 degrees of freedom, it looks like, almost in the front here.
Yeah, so if you had a really weird angle, you could mount this. We've had customers purchase this and mount this right up by the column where it comes through the firewall. We've had them build custom brackets that hold this down by the fender line, inner fender well. We actually built a custom cradle for an older Rolls Royce, and we built a bracket that mounts this right to that cradle and then into the steering gear.
Right.
So,
right.
Or the steering rack rather. So it just gives you really unlimited options to make steering happen more or less.
So internally, what does this look like?
So internally, this is inside of the housing. Both models have the same internal components, same spline, same everything. If we take this plate off, you'll see there are two gears that it's kind of like almost like a differential where you have two gears that are meshing together, taking rotational input one way and making it rotational output another way. There's no change, no sprockets, so there's nothing to break inside.
And I'm assuming it's a 1-to-1 ratio where you get the same amount of turns on the end as the engine.
Yeah,
okay.
And everything's lubricated internally. You don't ever have to take it apart to re-lubricate it. So when this is basically installed, there's nothing between point A and point B that's going to break and cause you not to have steering.
Sure.
So that's one huge positive. The main difference between the two, as you're asking, is this is our standard model. This is a smaller footprint. It's a cast housing. It's easier to manufacture and quicker to manufacture for the customer. So we can actually get this to the customer in their hands a lot quicker than the billet version. This is going to be something that you're going to want to put on like a track car, or, if you're building an off-road vehicle or just something where you don't necessarily need to worry about how it looks. This is going to do everything that does. It's just going to be a little bit smaller so it can fit in places a little bit better, and it's going to be, it's going to look just with the cast housing. So
right, absolutely.
For the show cars, the enthusiasts, the guys with the older muscle cars and street rods that they have the engine bay all dressed up, all
sparkling,
the chrome
clean.
and shiny.
Right.
Yeah, then we have this billeted
the billeted version would be the best.
So the difference is the billeted version is a little heavier because of the material, but it's also a nicer, cleaner, shinier housing. And this was our actual prototype that we started with.
Right. Just to get the idea across, you needed to build it first.
Yeah, we needed to build it, and this material we have here. We built these right in house in Bree, Ohio. So with this housing, it's a shinier, prettier, unit. So if you wanted to put this into a show car, this is going to look a lot better to a judge if you're showing than like this would. So
that's kind of the limited version, and then the casted version is kind of the streamlined, getting it out there to people who need it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. So this is the same exact internals in both models. It's just one looks a little different than the other because of the housing. So.
Now, this guy won a couple SEMA awards, from what I understand.
Yeah, last year we actually had this product win 2 SEMA awards. So it's rare to win one at SEMA, and to win 2 on the same product in the same year is
even
amazing.
better.
So
yeah,
it won Best New Street Rod Product and Best New Engineered Product for 2019.
Which let alone shows me that this is like a very innovative product. That the fact that I won a couple awards at SEMA of all shows is a really big deal. And is there anything like this out there currently, or was it more so done with just U-joints in the past?
No, I mean, there's another product out there, I believe, that's it's a 90-degree to gear, but it doesn't have the articulating balls, so it's literally just a 90-degree shot.
Okay,
which
so just
can help you, but it doesn't. It's nowhere near as versatile or as innovative as this is.
Excellent.
We've even been talking about how to make this better in the future, so we'll save that for another podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, this changes the game for a lot of applications. There's a customer in Ireland that actually bought 2 of these, and he installed 2 of them in his system because he's got a pretty wild build. So
really
waiting on some pictures of that.
But this helped him out.
And this helped him out immensely because it's just made it so easy. He didn't have to do really any customization. So mounted 2 of those. And
when I visualize like a steering column coming out of the firewall, it looks like it's almost headed directly for the engine block. I imagine that this would absolutely help get around that in terms of getting to your rack and pinion.
Yeah. I mean, when a manufacturer, when they design a vehicle, they want to design it as quickly and easily as possible, obviously. Right. So they want to go from the column to the rack as, with as little connections as they can.
Sure.
When you get into an older muscle car, you get into a custom build,
restorations.
Yeah, restorations. Like that's not always the option, especially when you start, you take a 350 cubic inch engine out, you want to put a big block in or something.
Right.
You want to really get...
You want to make it your own.
Yeah, you want to make it your own. You want to go custom, then really you don't have a lot of options other than be very creative or find a product like this.
Good to know. So, excellent. Yeah. Well, we should be waiting on more pictures from other customers who have installs. Mm-hmm. We're looking forward to that. Anything else you would like to add about the VDOG?
No, I mean, we have them on sale on our website, which is flamingriver.com, and we're going to be doing a lot of, like I said, videos for YouTube and install videos and things like that.
Perfect.
We're actually putting one of these right now in a 1949 Dodge pickup, so we'll have
keep people posted.
Yeah, some pictures and video of that because it's going to be a pretty wild install too. So it can be put in virtually anything.
Right, and it looks like it could.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, thank you very much for coming to teach me a little something extra about building a custom classic car. Sure. How this can be used and help people avoid some headaches when it comes to getting that steering to that rack and pinion. Thanks for helping me out.
Excellent. Thank you for having me.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening to our first installment of the Flaming River podcast. We'll have more of these coming out. I don't know exactly when, but it should be weekly to bi-weekly, depending on the topics we want to cover. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, and if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, let us know. Yeah, absolutely. We're an open book. I mean, we've got so many different products from... And I'd love to learn more about this kind of stuff, and I got Steve here to help me with we've got the cradle kits, the rack and pinions. I mean, so many different things we can talk about. I look forward to it. Yeah, we have plenty of stuff. Excellent. Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you.